Candela. What's happening, Miami? What's happening? This is Red Pill Rolly coming to you live from the Radio Red Pill headquarters, and we are gonna give you a little teaser today. Listen, this podcast, quick, it's just a little teaser. Today's a crazy day. It is December the 14th. It's gonna be a wild day in politics, wild day on the news. So I wanted to get something out to you guys. First things first, most importantly, if you're listening to me on YouTube and you're driving, hopefully you're not watching me on YouTube, but if you're listening to me wherever you can, if you stop, please hit the like, the subscribe, and please leave a comment. I don't care, what you say. You can tell me, hey, how you doing? You can tell me, hey, your breath stinks. Flatter me, baby. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Just say something, because the comments are going to work the algorithm, and we all know what happens when we work the algorithm, right? Right, exactly. So I need the algorithm. I need the likes. I need to get some movement. And listen, the more I get, the better our content's going to be. The better our content's going to be, the more you're going to get out of it. So we help each other out, okay? Another thing I want to tell you guys is, you see this really cool little hat right here. I got another one that you can see back there. Got a couple hats up on the website. Feel free to go on there, pick up a hat. I only make like $8 on the hats, but it helps. Any little bit helps. It costs money to keep all this thing going, and we're doing it for you guys. I don't get paid for it. Nobody does. So, any little help, I would greatly appreciate it. So let's get into sports real quick. Sports in Miami suck today. No pasó ni pinga. Really? I mean, the Dolphins blew it, and that's the end of that. Let's move on. No, I'm kidding. All right, so the Dolphins did lose, but the Dolphins lost 33-27 against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. The 11-1 Chiefs that now moved to 12-1 and clinched their division. The Chiefs. Bastardos. I'm kidding. Listen, I love Patrick Mahomes. I think Patrick Mahomes is the greatest thing to happen to football since they put laces on the damn ball. He's a smart guy. He's well-versed. He speaks well. He's super thankful for everything he has. He's exactly the opposite of Colin Kaepernick, which means I love him, right? So I like the guy. He's great, and he came down here. And, we beat him. Well, they beat us, but we beat him in a couple of ways. We forced 4 interceptions on him, right? Sacked him a couple times. I think we had one player that ended up with 2.5 sacks, and the Dolphins, Tua. Listen, the Dolphins are 8-5 with a rookie quarterback, and Tua looked pretty good. He looked good against a decent defense. He passed for 316 yards. He made a couple passes that took some serious motsy, if you ask me. He ran around in the pocket like a scared little girl, but a very efficient scared little girl, and made some good throws. He threw his first interception, but I don't think it was his fault. It was a deflected pass, and the guy should have caught it, in my opinion. But other than that, the Dolphins played a decent game against a really good team, and we lost 33-27, and I'll take that loss, and hopefully next week we'll kick some ass. Okay, so another thing I want to talk to you about before I get into the whole teaser thing about what's going on is I still have COVID. Right. Yeah. Hasn't gone away. It's been 4 days, and it's the weirdest bug in history. 4 days into COVID, and it's a respiratory virus. I'm breathing better than I've ever breathed in my entire life. I don't have a cough. I don't have a cold. I don't have runny nose, but of course, I can't taste anything, which sucks, right? Because all the food tastes like crap, and I can't taste anything, whatever. So it's an irony. It's like God's like, okay, you're going to be all right, but you're just not going to be able to eat much, right? I haven't lost my appetite, though, which sucks. I was hoping to lose like 5 or 6 pounds, like, maybe this COVID thing will help me out. No, it's don't lose my appetite, but I can't taste the food. It sucks, And another thing is, some people, they use the bathroom a lot. Me, I can't use the bathroom, which is ironic. I don't know what COVID has. It doesn't let me use the restroom either. So, and then the other thing is, it keeps me awake all the time. I don't sleep. So it's either the medicine that I'm not taking, because I'm not taking anything. They gave me a cough thing, and I don't even take the cough thing because I don't have a cough. So I don't understand it. I definitely wouldn't lock the whole country down over what I'm going through right now. I went through a couple of days of achiness and pain. But the worst part of this is being pretty much locked up in my office or in my son's room. That's it. That's the worst part so far. So listen, No entiendo nada except for that I'm stuck here and it said that I was positive and I'm waiting and I'm dying for like another couple of days so I can go and get a negative and move on with my life and then I'll be immune to it. For at least for 3 months. So then I can walk around without a mask and when people get pissed at me, I'm like, I'm immune. All right. Anyway, listen, tomorrow's a big day politically, right? And to help out with that whole big day that's politically going to be big, we're going to bring in our first guest ever on the Radio Red Pill podcast. Our first guest is going to be Mr. Kevin Cortina. Kev, are you there?
I'm here.
Yeah.
Very happy to be here. Thank you for the warm welcome, making history today on Radio Red Pill.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. We are making history on Radio Red Pill. And Kevin Cortina is actually a huge contributor to the show. He helps out with a lot of the information. We're, as you know, getting set up in this whole thing. We don't have the budget of a Steven Crowder or anybody really. We don't have any budget, but we're making things happen. We're picking up equipment, and Kevin's helped out a lot. So because I want to talk about
it grassroots,
right? This is as grassy as it gets, buddy. Our roots are deep. You know what I'm saying? We're deep. All right.
Yeah.
So anyway, Kev, man, listen. Welcome, bro. I'm so glad that you're finally on and I'm finally able to get your ass on this thing. Talk to me, bro. Tomorrow's a big day.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah.
Today, it's a big day today, and you know what? I want to make sure that people are aware that they've been hearing it for 5 weeks, but today might be the real deal.
Yep.
So today the Electoral College is going to meet.
Yep.
So and they're gonna set their votes based on what their governors had prepared. So the governors had prepared a certificate of ascertainment. And that certificate of ascertainment is going to have a list of the names from the slate of electors that were chosen by the candidate who won that election or who certified won the election in their state,
right?
The popular vote in their state.
Right. So if they all vote, that's where the whole 270 comes from, right? If they vote and Biden gets 270 electoral votes, he can actually be called dun, 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 the president-elect tomorrow. That's what happens.
So somebody tomorrow will be called the president-elect. Yeah.
Oh boy!
And it'll either be the re-election of the 45th president or the election of the 46th president.
Right.
So a few things could happen tomorrow. Obviously, we're not holding our breath here.
Right.
But the way that the Constitution is written, it's set up so that the legislatures from each state, so the state legislatures are supposed to make this choice.
Right.
And through different motions and through different movements and through different laws, and the state legislatures have given up these powers in some respects. And in the case of Pennsylvania, for example, the state legislature has held hearings and heard about and seen the evidence of election fraud,
right,
and seen the outright corruption of this election, right, and in their state, and they
still said no,
and they don't want they don't want their governor to certify the election. They don't want that election certified, and they don't want the slate of electors for Joe Biden to go because they know that it wasn't supposed to happen. And but we stand at an impasse today.
Wow. Well, listen, brother. I don't know what to tell you, bro. Hopefully, what'll happen is some of the states will, come up and do the right thing, right? Hopefully, they will not certify or not vote, or it'll get to the situation where the Constitution allows us to make it one vote per state, which is what everybody's hoping. But even if they do, go ahead.
I think they could do that, my friend. I think it could get there, but it would take a lot of guts. It would take the slate of electors for Trump in these battleground states that we know there was fraud.
Yeah.
And that there's proof of it, that they've held these hearings. People have signed these affidavits, under the penalty of perjury.
Right.
These cyber experts have testified. These mathematicians have testified.
Right.
Forensic specialists have testified, and they all say how mathematically It's impossible that Donald Trump had lost the margin of victory that he had on election night.
Man, it's crazy.
It's impossible.
Of course.
And so all the legislatures know, which is what the Constitution intended. The Constitution intended that the legislature. So if we look back in history, part of the reason why they created the Electoral College in the first place was because they were trying to decide whether to give the power to choose the president. Should it land on the legislature? Should it land on the Congress?
Right.
Or should it land in the hands of the direct vote of the people?
Right. So they created the Electoral College, right?
Yes, as a
compromise,
as an intermediary way,
right.
Exactly, as a compromise, so that is a compromise, exactly. So that we have a representative republic.
Sure.
And in this representative republic, we share this among the states, and that's why the Texas thing was so important. That's why today is so important, because today we need to be forthright, and we need to know what's going on. We need to be armed with the information of the way it works,
right?
So that when we're faced with this fake news media and all the censorship and things of this nature,
you don't drink the Kool-Aid. You got to know what's going on.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid,
right? But
when you refuse to drink the Kool-Aid, you got to be armed with the information to be able to throw back at them and let them know why.
Of course, yeah. But then and even if it's crazy, because in today's world, even if you're spitting out facts, even if you're saying the things that you're supposed to, that's true. Look at the in the States. Even the law, they just look at it and it's a conspiracy. The law is not followed. They do whatever the hell they want, and then the media backs that, and then that's what the American people see, and that's what the American people believe, and that's fucking bullshit. That's why Radio Red Pill exists, because we need a voice. We need somebody that can explain it, and the people that listen can hear, and they know that this is not a conspiracy. This is the law. This is the way it was written, and the way it was written on purpose. It was written on purpose so that to avoid crazy things like this happening, right? And then they're just ramming it down our throat, and it's happening anyway. So, but anyway, January 20th, right, perfect, checks and balances. But now January 20th is the day, right? January 20th is actually the day where we swear in the president. So from now to January 20th, we got to fight like hell, in my opinion. And I'll tell you what, real quick, Kev, I saw an interview today with Mike Flynn, and Mike Flynn said 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10 that Donald Trump will be the next president. And there is as far as I know, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this week there's an intelligence report coming out that is going to be from that Donald Trump ordered 45 days ago. It's coming out either tomorrow or the day after. That it's about foreign involvement and any foreign meddling in the election. And tomorrow, or in one of these days, it's due. I can't wait. And Sidney Powell is dropping. Go ahead.
So this week is a big week for Sidney Powell, supposedly.
Right.
This week she's going to start, or things are going to start being released. So John Ratcliffe has been, because of an executive order that going on what you just mentioned, because of an executive order that Donald Trump signed in 2018, John Ratcliffe, who's now the head of he's the DNI director, so the director of national intelligence. Right. He's required by this executive order to provide the president with any information that deals with any interference with the election from a foreign power, from any foreign interference.
Well, that should be
It's going to be a big deal. Yeah. So and Sidney Powell has been pointing at this as the smoking gun that we've been waiting for to finally.
Brother,
so, now,
I hope so.
I wouldn't pin my hopes too high.
I know.
Because John Ratcliffe did come out last week and say in an interview on ABC that he doesn't have any large amount of evidence pointing towards foreign interference that could have overturned the election. Now, again, we're moving back to the same. It's like a talking point for some of these people. So they keep saying enough to overturn the election. So what you're saying is you do have evidence of election fraud.
Right. Just not enough.
Just in your opinion, it's not enough to overturn the election.
Sure.
So there is evidence.
Right.
So they never lead with that. So it's very.
Listen, there's a lot of funny things.
Read into it.
There's a lot of things that I'm gonna, look. We didn't show it in the last podcast, but I'll talk about it. The Dominion. There was a Dominion machine in the county in Michigan. What was that county in Michigan? Entering. What was it?
Atrium,
right.
Atrium County.
That county, the attorney came out and said, listen, we have the evidence. We're trying to present the evidence, but the Attorney General of Michigan is stopping us, and we don't understand why she's stopping us. So hopefully that's going to get overturned. They're going to turn in that evidence, and that is basically a forensic analysis. Go ahead.
Yeah, that forensic analysis is reported to show that it wasn't.
It was a manual error. It wasn't a manual error. That's right.
It wasn't a manual error. Is that it was actually the error
of the machine. Well, it wasn't an error. It was fucking planned. But yeah, that.
The interesting thing is that if you look back, you see the Republican committee chair for the county, the Republican county committee chair for Atrium. She came out and said the truth the same day. So she's the one that was saying that the machine switched it, and she's been, that was a smoking gun on day one.
Is she alive?
And she's been ignored.
Where is she?
Thank God she's still alive.
So Hillary hasn't gotten to her yet. Run, bitch, run! They're coming.
Well, nowadays, you're just dead to the world of social media,
right.
And dead to the world of everything else.
Sure. Unless you're Edward Snowden. If you're Edward Snowden, you go to Russia, you survive over there, and you get interviewed every other week by somebody. It's crazy, but anyway, yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, it's a big deal right now. They got him, and unfortunately, he's not doing good. He's not doing good right now.
No,
yeah.
I know. Well, let's see what happens, man. But listen, so that's basically what's going on. It's going to be a crazy week, right? It's going to be a crazy week. We wanted everybody to know it's going to be a crazy week. We're going to bring you guys as soon as anything breaks.
Buckle up.
Yeah, buckle up.
The Kraken
right.
better be real. Let me tell you, because a lot of people have been pinning their hopes on the Kraken. So let's release it.
Well, listen, I agree with you. We're going to have some Kraken shirts.
The general is onto something.
We're going to make some Kraken t-shirts pretty soon, and we're going to have them on the website, just so you know, because I'm working on designing them, but, I just don't have enough time for everything. But we're going to, hopefully the Kraken is real. I talked about it in one of my earlier podcasts. We need the smoking gun, but listen, this lady, she's not crazy, right? She's not crazy. We're not a conspiracy theory podcast.
No.
We're not trying to believe something that isn't. This lady is a reputable attorney. She's not going to put her neck out on the line and say that there's evidence if there isn't. Okay, there has to be something, and hopefully it'll come out. And I'm waiting for it.
We need to remember. That I know that people have conspiracy theory overload. You've been listening to a Russia conspiracy for 3 years.
Yeah.
That didn't pan out. You were listening to Ukraine conspiracy against Trump. That didn't pan out. You're gonna.
But he got impeached for it. He got impeached for a phone call. To the country that Biden basically fired the prosecutor for his son, but he he got impeached. Come on, man.
Well, but like I said, so people are over this. It's an overload of conspiracy theories.
Right.
It seems to be that all the conspiracy theories that are wrong are coming from one side.
Of course. The left. And it turns out that everything that they say is a conspiracy is what they're doing, which is another irony.
Exactly.
Right? It's another irony.
It's that old adage. It's the old adage of when you point the finger, 3 more are pointing right back at you.
No, I got a better one. It's the old adage. If you smelt it, you dealt it. That's what it is. It's the same thing.
I guess the Cubans are saying, "El gatito Maria Ramos, que tira la piedra y esconde la mano."
Esconde la mano. That's right.
So, he throws the rock and then he hides it.
That's it.
Behind his back.
That's it.
That's it. And this is where we're at.
That's where we're at, man. That's where we're at, dude. I appreciate you calling
keep
in.
Hope alive, guys.
Yes, absolutely.
Happy. I'm telling you, if we just gotta push forward and make sure that we keep everybody informed and tell your neighbors, get on Radio Red Pill and get your dose of that information that we all need to stay up and current.
I hear you, man. Listen, there's a lot of info out there. We try to weed through it and give you guys the real deal. We're grassroots. We're not the big guys, but look, sometimes you don't listen to the big guys. Sometimes you listen to the local guy, and I'm the local guy, so Hi, listen to me. Every once in a while, I'll tell you the truth. Thank you, Kev. Thank you so much, man. Have a great day today, and we will have you back as soon as anything breaks, brother. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rolly. Thanks for having me.
All right, buddy.
God bless you guys. God bless America.
God bless you, brother. Bye. All right, guys. So there you heard it. That was Kevin Cortina, and he'll be back plenty of times. We're probably going to do some live video podcasts with Kev. Sooner rather than later, as soon as we get set up. But I'll tell you guys, look, the whole point of today's podcast was I wanted you to hear there's going to be a lot of turmoil. There's going to be a lot of craziness. Don't lose hope. The fight isn't over. It's just about fighting the right way. Okay. I'm never going to build your hope up. If there isn't a path, I'm going to keep the truth headed in the right direction. I haven't seen any evidence that you've seen, but hopefully it comes out. We're hopeful because the analytical, the statistical evidence is so overwhelming that logic, it doesn't pass a smell test that this was a legit election. And we're going to continue with that throughout the course of this until something happens. Either they prove us wrong or we prove them wrong. In closing, I'll tell you, there was a lot of craziness that happened this weekend. There was the Stop the Steal March in Washington. There was a lot of craziness there. There was some stabbings, some patriots. I saw some videos of Antifa hitting some guy walking with his wife down the street and, hit him upside the back of the head in a mob. Of course, they're real tough in a mob, but then you see, some patriots walking around when there's a few of those patriots around, they were whooping the shit out of the Antifa guys. So, listen, we don't need violence. We need to stop with the violence, stop with the lunacy. It's our right to protest and it's our right to celebrate MAGA and the president just as much as it's your right to protest, okay, as long as you do it peacefully, all right? Every time I see a MAGA rally or every time I see a bunch of MAGA people, it looks like a postcard for America. American flags everywhere, people are smiling, people are there to show support for the country. And every time I see something from the other side, all I see is burning buildings and burning cars and people throwing stuff, and it looks like something from freaking zombie land, okay? There's something going on here. And the America that I want is not that side, okay? If that's where we're going, we got a serious problem. And I think that's what everybody here agrees with. So keep listening to us. We're going to keep you well informed. I'm going to give you the best of myself always. And I'm going to bring you the truth, okay? All the first responders that are out there, if you were in Washington, if you happen to be listening to me and you got injured or you got stabbed, I'm so sorry, man. Thank you for being the front line. Thank you for being out there and sacrificing yourself to protect both sides. I know you got to protect the Antifa guys. You got to protect everybody. It's crazy. It's a crazy job you guys got. You have my respect, as you know. Thank you. And thank you for everybody, all the nurses, everyone, first responders. I love you guys. Firefighters, thank you for always helping out with the medical and helping out with everything, all right? So I hope you have a great day today. Hopefully the news won't be so crazy. I'd love to come back on here and celebrate the fact that Biden is not the president-elect, but he may very well be. So don't lose faith. Don't lose hope. And as always, Candela.